In this video, I wanted to share 7 ways that we found in our barbershop to add value to clients without adding cost. And if you could figure this out, I think it'll really take your shop to the next level. So let's just get right into it. First thing we got to talk about is defining value, right? And I really like the quote from Warren Buffett where he says, "Price is what you pay, value is what you get." And I think as business owners, we're naturally very good at this because there's two sides of the equation. There is price and then there's what you get. And the relationship between the two is where I think you need to focus as a barbershop owner. Because if you can figure out how to provide the maximum amount of value, not necessarily for the lowest price, but the discrepancy has to be huge, right? The bigger the discrepancy, the more the client feels like they got a deal, the longer you're going to be able to keep them. So what do I mean by that? As barbershop owners, we tend to focus on the price side of the equation. If you provide the same level of service, but you lower the price, then the client is getting more for less. But what I'm going to argue in this video is that you should focus on the other side of the equation, which is how can you keep the same price, if not even charge more, but just provide more value so that the discrepancy is such that the client still feels like they're getting a great deal. And I think if you really master that, and this is the difficult part about business, I think, is how to give away more in a way that doesn't cost you more money as a business owner and as a barbershop owner. But if you can really figure it out, and I'm going to share 7 of the ways that we've tried to figure it out, I think it'll take your business to the next level. So if that's the only thing you get from this video, just remember that the difference between what the client perceives and what they pay as far as the value to price discrepancy is the whole business. And the bigger you can make that difference, the better. The price is almost irrelevant, right? An example of this would be if I asked you if $50,000 was a lot of money, a lot of you would probably say yes, right? But if I said I would sell you a brand new Lamborghini, nothing wrong with it, no strings attached, for $50,000, you would probably think that's a good deal, right? Because that the value of that car, the Lamborghini, is probably a lot more than a 50,000, even 100,000, right? So the price is almost irrelevant if you can figure out the value side of the equation, which is what we're going to get into now. So before we get into that, the things that we've done in our shop to add value without adding cost, I thought I would define how I started thinking about this a few years ago. So the question that I had was, once I realized what I just told you guys, how we need to focus on adding value, because then that makes price almost irrelevant, is how do we add value without adding a lot of cost? And the way I thought about it was without adding incremental cost. Because usually when I ask barbers what do they think we should do to add value to our services or to our guest experience, typically the first thing that they go to is, well, let's throw a service in there. Let's start making shampoos free, or let's throw a waxing in there. But the problem with that idea is that there's a cost associated with providing additional services, because even though there might not be like a physical cost, you have to spend more money on supplies and stuff. Time is a cost, right? So if it costs time or a lot of money, I'm probably not going to consider that idea in terms of how to add value to the clients. So we did not go in that direction of just adding more services, because when you add just more things in there for the same price, service-wise, you just end up making less money. So what we're trying to do is make the same amount of money, but figure out a way to add value to the clients in a way that doesn't add a lot of cost. And that's what we're going to talk about for the rest of this video. I'm going to share with you some examples. This will probably get some ideas flowing in your head, and I would love to hear if you guys have thought of something that's not on this list. But how do you add value without adding a lot of cost? Because there's some ways to do it where it doesn't add a a lot of cost, and there's some ways to do it where it doesn't add any cost. And I think the other thing I should point out is perceived value, right? Just because something doesn't cost you a lot of money, it could potentially still be really valuable for the client. So it doesn't always have to be like something expensive that you're giving away. It could be like a PDF, it could be a course, it could be whatever, right? But it could be something that's really valuable for the client that maybe was a one-time piece of work for you, something that is very low cost for you to provide. But what I don't think you should do is just immediately start giving away services. And I don't think you should discount your services. I think we should focus on the other side of the equation. How do we give more? How do we add more? But with doing it in a way that doesn't add cost. So let's get into that. So the first way that we found was upgrading our waiting area chairs, because if you have a barbershop and you have more than one person working, chances are at some point you're going to have people waiting, which is great. It means you're getting busy. But so I had this thought a few years ago. Is there a way to make the experience of waiting more enjoyable? So that was the thought that started me down this path. And we did some other things which I'll cover later in the video. But the idea was they're going to have to sit anyways. Is there a way I can upgrade the seating to make it even more comfortable so that clients almost don't even mind waiting, right? So we decided to upgrade our waiting area chairs from the just basic stackable Sam's Club chairs that we had to massage chairs. And I will put the link into to the stuff that we use in the description, or I'll share it with people inside the group, my barber group. But basically, you can get these chairs on Amazon. They're actually very fairly priced. I think they were under $200 each last time I checked. And we just swapped them out. And that's all we did. One-time cost. Now, you need power if you're going to have massage chairs. You don't have to have massage chairs, but you can upgrade the seating. But when we started telling people that we have massage chairs now, everybody was so excited about it, right? And they're super basic, especially these. All I do is like vibrate. They don't really do that kneading motion. But one way we found to add value without adding cost is by swapping out our chairs from regular waiting area chairs to massage chairs. And the clients loved it. So that's just one example of a way that you can add value without adding. This is a one-time cost, right? Eventually the chairs are going to need to be replaced, right? Because whatever, like the fabric gets messed up. But we did this 2 years ago and chairs are still going strong. So it's not going to be something that you have to do often, right? So that was the first way that we found that you can add value without adding cost. So the next thing number 2, right? So if you do shampoos in your barbershop, or even if you don't, I think you don't even need to do shampoos to use this. But a regular scalp massager, you can use the brush. You can use this thing right here, like this little spider looking thing. But there's electric massagers that you can use for the scalp. But since you have to shampoo the clients out anyways, is there a way that you can make the shampoo even more enjoyable? Because the clients that come to us, a lot of them that get shampoos say that that's one of their favorite things. Most people say that the neck shave, the what we do at the end, which is another thing that's not on this list, but I'll just go ahead and say, if you're not doing hot towel services already as a barber, it's a super easy value add. You just make the towels in the morning and you keep them in a towel warmer, or if you're really pinching pennies, you could use like a slow cooker, and then you put it on the back of the client's neck at the end of the service, give them a nice clean neck shave, and then they're done. It takes 5 minutes, and clients consistently say that is the most favorite part of their coming to our shop is the neck shave at the end of the haircut. But if you're doing shampoos, you could upgrade the shampoo experience with a one-time cost by getting these things, which I think they're like $8 or something on Amazon. But it's such a cheap thing. Nobody's doing this right now. And it's another example of something that you can do that doesn't add a lot of cost. So one time, the first things that I'm covering on this list are all one-time expenses. Don't have to do it more than once. These things are going to wear it out, but you'd be surprised. Some of these things last for years. So let's move on to the next one. So a massage gun, right? So you can get a massage gun if you really, this is technically on the line of providing an extra service, but it doesn't have to be a full in-depth massage, right? You can get one of these little cordless massage guns or whatever massage gun you want. And at the end of the service, I think we have a video about how to do this on our YouTube channel too. At the end of the service, you can just do a quick little, I don't know, 4 or 5 second pass on each shoulder blade down the middle, and then they're done, right? It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but it's one of those things that it's a one-time cost and clients will love it. So you can get a massage gun, and you don't have to do it with every service. Maybe you can make this part of your premium upgrade service, but having it as an option, some clients will really appreciate that. So getting a massage gun has been awesome, game changer for us. The next thing, so this is something that I think should be obvious, but I don't know if you're a barber. When was the last time you sat in your chair for an extended period of time? I hope not. I hope you're busy cutting hair and making money. But if you've ever sat in a chair, and more specifically leaned back in the chair and been there for any sort of extended period of time, you might start to notice that the back support of a barber chair isn't that great. So this was an example of something that by getting a lumbar support pillow, you can make your clients way more comfortable in the barber chair by providing that lower back support that the chair doesn't provide. And it's a one time, right? And every single client that I've ever offered this pillow to always asks for it again on their next visit. It's a one time cost, and they're so cheap. They're $20, $30 maybe for a high end one, and you can use it over and over again. It's not really touching their skin, so you don't need to worry about going crazy with the sanitation, right? And then if it wears out, you get another one for another $20, but you'll probably get hundreds of uses out of it before then. But this is a huge one that so many clients even now don't even know that we have this, and it's such an easy one-time cost. Anytime you're doing a beard trim or a face shave and you're leaning clients back, I strongly recommend that you have a lumbar support pillow and offer that to the clients. Once they try it, they're going to ask you for that pillow every single time, because leaning back in the chair, especially if it's just a few minutes, not that bad. But if you're doing a full experience and it's 30 minutes, 45 minutes of a shave and everything, like that starts to take a toll on your lower back. If you've never experienced that before, it's probably still, clients still find it relaxing, but if you offer them a lumbar support pillow, I promise most of the clients that you do this for, if you offer them a lumbar support pillow, they're going to love it, and they're probably going to ask for it again. And again, this is a one-time cost, right? So that's number 4. And then the last thing for the one-time cost is fans. This is another thing that seems like should be common sense, right? But clients sometimes get hot, right? So, and I don't know about your shop, but our shop has high ceilings, so sometimes the AC, especially in the summer, we're in Florida, the AC can struggle to keep the shop cool. Or clients just chugged a bunch of caffeine or whatever before they came in, and for whatever reason they're hot, right? And the AC is not going to do the job. So you can have fans on your stations, and just if you see that a client is sweating or whatever, just point that fan right towards their face and turn it on. They love it, right? One-time cost. There's 2 different types of fan styles that we use, because one shop we don't have a countertop, but we have shelves. So I clip the fans onto the shelves, and at the other shop we have countertops. So that's why we have 2 different fans for our shop. But super easy, something that you can offer to every single client. And this is something that really you only have to worry about in the summer when it's warm, right? But having fans on your stations to keep clients cool, I think it's a great idea. Clients will appreciate it, and the barbers can use it too if they start getting hot, right? So that's it, I think, for the one-time cost. Now let's talk about some of the things that we've done that there is a little bit of incremental cost, but I think that it far outweighs what the additional cost, right? So for an example of that are drinks and snacks. As you can see in this picture here, this is a real photo of our actual fridge at our Riverside location. And we're always rotating and testing different drinks. But when we started out, it was like this. It was just very basic. We just Googled what are the most popular sodas and beers, and that's how we stock the fridge, right? So Diet Coke and Sprite, water, Bud Light, Yingling. Now we test all different kinds of stuff. We have hard, sweet tea, and different things. I let the managers basically order whatever they want based on the client feedback. We switch up the drinks every now and then. One thing that we changed since we took this photo is we started actually giving away energy drinks. of course, clients love that. And I actually did that more for the barbers, actually, because I felt like the barbers should probably have some access to energy drinks. I read a book about caffeine, and after that, I decided I'm going to start providing the barbers with energy drinks because I feel like they'll be more productive, and I think that's turned out to be true. So we give away still the stuff that's in this picture: water, soda, beer, but we also do energy drinks, and we're always looking for other things to add. Recently, we added snacks. So the type of snack that I think you offer makes a big difference as far as the cleanup that's involved after that. I don't really like potato chips as much. Little things that don't make as many crumbs or and grease are better. So small cookie packs, pretzels. You want to be careful of allergies and things like that. But all these things, if you're like me and you might be wondering, oh, that might get expensive. I promise you, most people aren't taking a drink. And those that do, it doesn't necessarily, it's not like you're going to be running out of drinks all day. Very few people are actually taking advantage of the drinks and the snacks, but everybody appreciates that it's an option. Now, even though that, because they have to get back to work in a lot of cases, right? So they're not going to drink a beer, and some people will, but and most people are not going to abuse this privilege. And if they are, you could always take it away, right? But I found that the cost for drinks and snacks is so minimal compared to the perceived value, which is the whole point of this video, right? We want clients to feel like this is such a great deal. I get a haircut, I get all this stuff with my haircut, and I get drinks and I get snacks. The energy drinks alone are like $2 each, right? So you could figure out a way to do it as cheap as possible. You don't have to do all the stuff that we're doing. You could just give away water and clients will appreciate that. But I'm telling you, drinks and snacks are, in my opinion, a great return on investment. Every barbershop should offer it. And it's a very low cost because not everybody's going to take one. So there is some incremental cost with that. So by incremental, every time somebody consumes one of those, there's going to be a cost associated with that. But I think it's worth it, and that's why we still do it to this day. So the next thing that's an incremental cost, which is this. I love this software. I don't know about you. Right now, we're using a software called Rockbot, which is a really cool software. I'll just take you to the website real quick since we're on the screen. But basically, we have a music software where we control all the music that can be played, but clients and barbers can actually request what music they want to listen to. So that's really cool. So the barbers, because that's one thing that barbers will never agree on, is what type of music they want to listen to in the shop. Everybody, it seems like half the barbers hate this type of music and the other half love it. So what we do is we just have a playlist that would just rotate, and if the barbers want, they can download the Rockbot app on their phone and request songs for free. And the clients can do the same thing too. So with this software, clients can actually download the app and request songs just like they want to listen to during the haircut, just like basically a modern day jukebox. So we use this in our shop. There's other things you can do with this, but we mainly use it for the music, and it's awesome. Clients love it. I think the barbers use it more, to be honest. But again, it's one of those things that not every client is going to use it, but everybody is going to appreciate that they can choose the music they want to listen to during their haircut with this software. So it's one of those things that there is a cost associated with this, but I think that it's going to outweigh whatever the cost is in terms of the value that it provides. And again, this is perceived value. This is something that clients might naturally expect, that this is going to be like a really expensive service to offer. Not really. I honestly don't remember what I pay. I think I pay yearly, so it's a little bit less. But when I wasn't paying yearly, I think it was like $50 a month per location or something along those lines. But I think it's worth it because we used to use Pandora, and then the problem with Pandora is that you can't control the music that the barbers are playing in the shop, so they can change the playlist anytime they want. Then they start DJing and shit, and they're focusing more on the music than on the clients and the haircut. And then everybody still hates it and not getting along with has different ideas of what music should be played in the shop. And it's just like, with Rockbot, you have control with the music as a barbershop owner, but the barbers and the clients can actually request songs that they want to listen to. So in a way, it's really the only solution I found where everybody wins. And clients really appreciate that. So there's actually one more thing I wanted to show you. It's just a bonus. I know I said it was going to be 7. This is actually number 8. And this is something that I definitely stole from Hormozy, Alex Hormozy. You might have heard of him, business influencer guy. So this is his value equation. And this is basically how value is structured in his eyes, right? So a lot of us barbershop owners tend to focus on the top of the equation, the dream outcome, and the perceived likelihood of achievement. So what does that mean? So that means we're selling the dream. We're like, you're gonna get an amazing haircut. We're the best barbershop in town, whatever. That's dream outcome, right? And then perceived likelihood of achievement, that's like Google reviews and Yelp reviews and testimonials and things like that. So we're basically making it seem like it's very likely that you're gonna get what you want if you come here, right? But actually the most important stuff, the most valuable stuff are the things at the bottom. So the time delay, the effort and sacrifice. So by time delay, what the way I perceive that as the barbershop is, can clients get in with you when they want to? Or do they have to wait a week, months to see you, right? The more convenient you are as a barber, the more valuable you are, right? Because everybody wants their barber to support their barber and their barber to be busy until their barber is too busy for them. So if you want to be more value as a barber, figure out how to accommodate clients in the shortest window possible, right? So you can try to figure out if you're booked weeks out, months out, that could be a sign that maybe it's time to raise your prices, which is great. And that's going to make it so you will lose clients, but the clients that you do keep are going to have availability sooner, right? What sucks for a client, right, that's trying to be loyal for you as a barber is that if they have to cancel their appointment and you're busy, you're booked up, they have to wait weeks now to come see you again. So figure out how you can get that time delay from the time they want to come in and see you to the time they actually come in to as short as possible. And when they are there, I think you can also perceive time delay as how can we get them out of the chair as fast as possible, but while still maintaining the quality. That's the biggest thing. They're not going to want you to just rush to their haircut. But if you can get them done in 30 minutes instead of an hour, now they could potentially come on their lunch break instead of waiting until the end of the day when they get off of work, when they're tired and they would just rather go home. Maybe now they can come in on their lunch break and you just became more valuable, right? And the second thing is effort and sacrifice. I think that clients should be able to book an appointment as easy as possible, right? If you take appointments. So I don't, not a big believer in like charging deposits and doing cards on file. And I think it's really a situational thing. But I want to make the booking process as easy as possible. I want to make the rescheduling process, if they need to move their appointment, as easy as possible. And we even make canceling an appointment as easy as possible. All they have to do is respond to the text message that they get with the reminder with the letter X, and it automatically cancels. They don't have to call, they don't log into the app, nothing, right? So if you can do these all four things on this equation right, you naturally become more valuable as a barber. So a couple of the things that we're considering testing, red light therapy may be something that we test in the near future because there's some potential benefits to doing that. Other things that are basically anything that really is a low or no incremental cost, I'm probably going to test it at some point in the future, right? So just to review, these are the 8 things that you can do to add value in the shop. Upgrade your waiting area, scalp massage for shampoos, massage gun, lumbar support pillow, fans on the stations, give away drinks and snacks, and then if you want, let the clients and the barbers request music with Rockbot and figure out how do I make it as fast as possible, as easy as possible, and you will naturally become more valuable as a barber without touching your price. So hopefully you guys found this helpful. See you in the next one.